What's up, y'all? Now look, this video is super duper random, but I'm scrolling on Twitter and I'm looking and I see a clip of KD putting up 54 points on the Warriors, and I want to say it was 2014, and the way that he was moving back in 2014 was just ridiculous. And some people might say, oh, he still looks similar, he still looked the same, but to me, just his twitches, the way he moving, the speed, obviously he can still pull up the same, he can still do those, but he was doing unnecessary things at that time. And just looking at his highlights from back then, he was just moving a lot more. And obviously he's much younger. That was 10 years ago now. But just to really see it, it was crazy to see, because I was a Thunder fan growing up, and it made me understand why I loved his game and why I love the Thunder so much, because he was so good. Nowadays, when you get older and you get into the league more, they talk about, the veterans say, you start to simplify the game more and more, because one, you want to be able to prolong your career as long as possible, but also because you're not able to do those things no more. So instead of being able to 1-2 dribble, cross, hang, pull, shot, you just 1-2 pull up, come off a screen, pull up. You're not doing all the antics and all the extravagant things no more, because you don't have to, and because you really can't do it. So it made me think, and it made me want to go check out his stats and whatnot from back in the day when he was on the Thunder, when he was my favorite player in the league. And I saw in his third year, he was runner-up for MVP, averaging 30 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.5 steals, 1 block. Then 2 years later, in his fifth year, he was runner-up, averaging 28, 8, 3.5, 1, and 1.2. Then the year after that, he was runner-up again, averaging 28, 8, 5, 1.5, and almost 1.5. Then he finally won and averaging 32, 7.5, 5.5, 1.5. He's been crazy. He was crazy. He's still crazy. He's a top 10 player of all time, in my opinion. It's not too many guys that I'm saying that I'm taking over him. I'm not going to disrespect no legends, so I'm not going to give out a list. But Kevin Durant is top 10 in my list all time for sure. It's not 10 players in their careers that, if I look at their prime and I look at his prime, I'm saying I'm taking them over him. Period, point blank. KD had everything. And at a point, he had really good defense, especially when he was playing with the Warriors. With the Warriors, he was averaging almost 2 blocks a game for those first 2 years. Now, obviously, he gets help from Draymond. He gets easier blocks. He's 7 foot. He should be blocking the ball, but it was impressive. And I definitely don't see him as a guy that was a slouch on defense at any point in his career. But offensively, we know what he could do. He could pass the ball a little bit, but he had all 3 levels, and he was at the top of the league in all 3 levels: finishing, mid-range, 3-ball, pick and roll play, post up. He had literally everything. It was nothing that he could not do. And that's so crazy to me, that you actually forget how good and how people were back when they were in their primes, because you're just watching the game and you're just getting older and you just kind of don't remember. Like, this is a 4-time scoring champ that we're talking about here. This year he's averaging 28, 7, and 6. So it's not like he's even taking a true decline. Obviously, guys are scoring at an easier rate. Stats are much easier now to get. But still, just for him to be averaging this much, and he's like, 70 years old, bro. Like, the dude is extra old now. It's incredible. It's something that I haven't really seen too much of, besides from Ron, obviously. But we got spoiled with these 2 guys in the league. And I just wanted to come on here and just talk just a little bit about how good KD was back then, because I don't think a lot of younger fans nowadays really remember or know how good and how fast and how his handle was so creative, and how he could do all these things at 7 foot. He looks better than all of those 6'8", 6'9" guys that we got in the league today. He looks better than them when he was their age. When I'm thinking about KD, if KD's prime right now was in the league, he'd be a top player. He would be the top player, or right behind Jokic. I don't know what y'all want to give, but I'm going KD. KD he is the blueprint for all guys. And we knew this, but every time that you see another 6'9", 6'10" guy now that can dribble the ball, shoot the ball, he's compared to KD. But KD is literally one of one. I have not seen a guy move the way that he was moving in OKC from their high school clips or their college clips or their first couple of years in the league clips. KD coming out was averaging 20. He's one of the only players in the NBA to never have a season under 20 points. Coming in at 19 years old, winning Rookie of the Year, averaging 20 points, 4.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists. That may not seem crazy, but it's 2007, 2008. Those numbers are absolutely insane at that point in time, especially for a rookie playing for a not winning franchise. Then the next year you come out, you average 25. Then the next year you come out and you get 30 points a game and runner up for MVP at 21, 22 years old. It's something that we're seeing more of, but it was not seen as much when you first coming into the league. So I just want to come here and talk just a little bit about it. Want to know what you guys think. Do y'all think Kevin Durant is a top 10 player of all time? And if not, who's ahead of him and why they're ahead of him? Let me know down in the comments. But that's all that I got for you guys today. That's my talk on Kevin Durant in his prime, being one of the best, if not the best scorers of all time. That's just from my eyes to yours. Hope you all enjoyed this video. I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm out.